Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bestie Advice with your favorite two besties, Dr. Irene Abrams and Karan Hayes. Hey, besties out there.
Hey y'all.
And we are super excited for our episode on today. And we hope you all have been following us and watching our previous episodes, where this season we are talking about all things relationships, love, and marriage. Every single episode, we will have a different couple on talking about their marriage and their relationship and giving us some good wisdom and some advice on how we can enhance our marriage, and those who are even aspiring to be married. We hope that you are watching as well, so you can take some good notes and be ready for your king or your queen to come. And today, I am very excited for the guests that we have on today. It is some of our very good friends, Pastor Daniel Smith and his beautiful wife, one of my good friends, Lady Kameithia Smith.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome.
Yes. We love them. So I'm just going to tell you just a little bit about Pastor Smith and Lady Cam. Pastor Smith, he is a manager in the healthcare industry. And Lady Smith, she is a former early, we're gonna have to edit that one. She is a former early childhood educator, but she is also a self-care advocate. Y'all, if y'all don't know anything about self-care, y'all need to hook up with my sister friend right here. She will get you all together because it's about taking care of us first, and then you could take care of everybody else. I just wanted to throw that plug out there for her. All right. So you all, we are going to jump right into this episode with our first two questions. So, Pastor Danny,
Yes, I'm
Cam,
ready.
y'all, we first want to know, how long have you all been married, and how and where did you all meet?
Well, when we do it,
Go ahead. How long?
we've been a long time. So listen, we just made 20 years this year, so we are very grateful that God has allowed us to stay together this long and for the times to come. Now, I'm gonna be very transparent. She was all over me. I gave her my number,
Oh my goodness.
told her not to lose it, and to this day, 20 years later, she's still dialing my number. So I'm
That's totally not response to the question that you. But he did give me his number, although I didn't know it was his number till much later that it was his number. We met at work, but at my job, he was just visiting his mother. We worked together, and I honestly didn't even like him at first. I was like, no. But here we are, 20 years later.
still standing.
What is it? And we still together. I love that. So, to our besties out there, Lady K mentioned that what they do in the marketplace, but you heard those titles at the beginning. Both of them are pastors and they lead a ministry. So that adds a different layer on to marriage. And so I want to kind of talk about that. And I know you both have, older children, and we want to dig deep in that because there's a lot of balancing that you all have to do out. You are operating the king priest anointing. You have marketplace ministry, but you have priestly ministry too. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do you balance ministry in your marriage? Because you're both functioning as pastors. I do understand, Pastor Danny, that you are an EV, and I know that's a layer, a leadership layer to that. I know you have music ministry as well. How do you balance all of your giftings in marriage? And so it's great. Your wife is a healthcare enthusiast because you need it with
Mhm.
all the layers. But how do you balance ministry and marriage? And that's for both of you.
I would say it really takes a special person um, to be connected to someone who has these different layers.
Yeah.
The level of understanding, the level of commitment, not just to the marriage or to the individual, but the
Yeah.
respect that they have for the God in you and what they see. It's
Yeah.
a special person to walk alongside someone who is being pulled in so many different directions, but yet still able to be stable and keep their home grounded and rooted in love and in the Word of God. I will say it has its challenges, and within these 20 years, it has been challenging. I would say that because we got married 1 year, we had a baby, and I became a pastor.
Oh, wow.
Everything was back to back to back, and she can elaborate more on that. So,
Yeah.
and as we begin to go through life, we have now come to the realization that we really never had time to enjoy marriage with just two of us.
Yeah.
Because everything happened back to back. So fast. And that balance with church, with ministry, with work, me being bivocational, meaning I work at Northwestern and I'm a full-time pastor and I'm recording and this. I'm a husband, I'm a father, attached to Pilgrim Assemblies, I'm in leadership there. So all of those things are pulling me in different directions. And I have to make sure that I make the conscious decision to make sure that my household is taken care of first.
Yes, that's good.
And because he's, have all these other duties and responsibilities. So that falls on me. So you got to make sure the kids where they need to be, make sure that the kids are getting what they need to get, okay. This at the church, okay, so since you over here, then maybe I'll go over here and handle this for you and this. So it's you have to have a good communication between the both.
Yes.
And you have to, it's a give and take. There's no such thing as half and we're 50-50 because today you might get the 20% and tomorrow you get the 80.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that's good. And you have various layers as far as within your marriage. Pastor Smith, you just named all the different things, that you are involved in. And Cam, I know you are just as busy, in ministry, taking care of your children, running your house. You're seeing after you're visiting, doing all this visiting, as far as with people who may be in the hospital or home visits. So you have a busy schedule as well. So how do you all actually set boundaries when it comes to your marriage, being parents, you being a recording artist, doing all these visits, pastoring a church? How do you all set those boundaries?
I wouldn't necessarily say we actually have a set boundary.
Okay.
I guess over our time for us, over the period of becoming a pastor, me becoming a pastor's wife, then having Emory, then 2.5 years later had Josiah. It was always on the go, and just one thing after another. So it was never like, okay, we're gonna set this time off, we're gonna set this time off. But we've learned to make time, I would say.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We've made time to, okay, if we gotta be here, we're gonna make this a family event. Okay, if we gotta go here for ministry, okay, then we're gonna find some time. We're gonna go have dinner, just us, or we're gonna go find a site to see or something. But like we find our time within doing the other things that we have to do.
Yeah.
We'll add to that First Lady Pastor Cami is very, very particular about that. And I appreciate that because she's going to make sure.
Yeah.
She's going to make sure Oh, you got to be there at 4 o'clock? Okay, from 2:30 to 3:45 is my time. You know, either we're gonna have brunch, we're gonna go get something to eat, we're gonna go get ice cream. We're gonna do something which I can really say I have to appreciate, because most of the time my mind is not even on that, and I'm just being honest. I'm ready. I'm preparing for my next assignment, and to have someone who's grounded and rooted in family. That's one thing that has really, really kept our family together, is her being the I don't want to say stickler, but the one that is firm and making sure family is important, family is taken care of. It was a joke that's been going on for years about me, that I'm an excellent provider, but when it comes to
like anything else, okay, it's gonna be a little short on it. And it's a joke, but it's in all honesty, it's real, it's serious. Like it's the truth.
Yeah.
But we've made it work. I can't say I made it work. We've made it work. You know, you do what you need to do. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and you know, hey.
Yeah. No, I love that. That you actually are being intentional as far as Cam, to make sure that to make sure that, hey, is it going to be some me and you time? And is it going to be, the two of us and our children? Then it can be some family time, because I know you got to get back to doing whatever else. But we're going to find some time in there. And I love that about you. I've been around where you're like, where we going? Okay, yeah. So I know we got to do that. But before we do that, we will be doing this, or after we do that. Or how about we probably are not going to do that? We'll see the next day. But I like that. I like that you are making sure that you don't lose sight of family. And almost as far as with you, Pastor Danny, you got a whole lot of things to do. So she got to kind of like, oh, okay. Okay. You've been over here for a while. Let me just kind of steer you back. Yeah. And that's really good advice, especially besties out there who are in marriages where one of you all may be really busy, both of you all are busy, and you're trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do? It's really not a such thing as balancing time. It's really about what's the priority right now. So it's about making things a priority and then being intentional. And one of your priorities, husbands, wives, should be the husband or the wife. That should be first priority, right under God. This should be their husband or their wife, and then your children, and then your job, and then ministry. Yep, ministry come under that. So, we have to make sure that we are being intentional about that quality time with one another. I love it.
Yeah, I think that because your wife is really, intentional, like Kiran said about that time, it really helps bring that balance to the family.
Yes.
And so I want to incorporate family, because I do understand that you both have two beautiful children. So I want to talk to you, and I know your children are older. I know you don't have small children. So let me ask both of you, what advice would you give to new parents stepping in the role of ministry leadership roles?
That's good.
Try to keep some of your family, that means you, your husband, your kids, private.
That's good.
It is very hard. I always say I feel like we're under a microscope.
Yeah.
So do whatever it is to keep your time, not your time and sister so and so have to come and oh, I saw you, like, this is like,
yeah.
Everyone, you have to find something that everyone can be invited to this table.
No, I agree. I'm extremely private when
and it's hard when everyone, they want to pull on their pastor, or they want to pull on their friends, oh, I want to go, oh, and what y'all have going on, or can I meet you guys? Like, sometimes it's it's not
yeah.
So what I would say, the hardest thing would be finding time to just keep something of your lives, your personal lives, private.
Yes.
No, I agree. Do you want to respond to that, Pastor?
She really hit it on the head. And and I know I'll just say this, like sometimes, even in my preparation for my sermons, I will use some of our real life situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And before I even get into it, I'm like, and I know person may be like, you always telling our business, you always telling our business. Sometimes I use those as an application
Right.
to show
Yeah.
them real life scenarios.
Yeah.
I want the congregation and those around me to know, yes, I carry the title, but the title doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
human. I make mistakes. We have growing pains, just like that. We bleed, just like the other person. So I try to use some of my everyday situations or things that we may
Yeah.
be dealing with to try to bring some realities to someone else's situation to let them know
Yeah.
it's a title. It does not mean that we are exempt from struggles. We're not exempt from trials. We're not exempt from situations. So I try to bring some of our seasons of conflict and things of that nature to real life so they can understand they're just as human as I am.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I like that you give practical advice, things that you've been through, say, hey, this is what we've been through. We made it, we dealt with it this way, so you can. I think
Yes.
that that's great. I do have a follow-up question about that when it comes to raising children in ministry. What was some of your biggest fears about raising children and serving in ministry? And I'm asking, I'm a PK, so trust me, I can understand both sides of the coin. But I like where you were going, Pastor Cam, with the protection and the privacy.
Mhm.
I think that's important, but I would love to hear what are some of your biggest fears when it comes to raising children?
Expect them to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They can't.
Yeah.
I try to tell my kids. I've taught them like they're 19 now and 16. But
Mhm.
we started out. They were newborn. They both were born while he's been pastoring.
Yeah.
Be you. And it's you always worry like if Emery's skirt is too short. What they gonna say, or oh Josiah was playing this on his Instagram. And so it's like you want to protect them from what the people have to say, but you
Yeah.
also want them to live their teenage lives as well too. It's almost like
Absolutely.
a judgmental thing. Like you don't want them to be judged for them just trying to be a kid. Like
Mm.
they didn't ask for their parents to be in the industry. They want to do the same thing your little Sally doing. Sally got on some little shorts with some rips in it. So my baby want to wear that too. And it should be
Right. Right.
like, ooh, the pastor do they got on some ripped shorts. And
Hmm.
that to me my fear of them
Yeah.
having pressure that they have
Yeah.
perfect or they couldn't do what the next child their age was doing because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
I totally agree. I'm listening to you all, and it's like they preaching to the choir. But I totally understand in regards to protecting your children. We are, first of all, as parents, we already have enough pressure and
Yes.
enough on us without having a second set of observers out here trying to tell us how to parent. No, we
Yeah.
already trying to get this thing together. We don't need you side voices. Let us do this ourselves. So no, I am I'm with you because it was a struggle. I'm just gonna share this. My son had asked if he can get his ears pierced. And the first thing I thought about was, what are the church people gonna say? Not about like, well, why do you want to get your ears pierced? Is it because everybody else? Is it something that you really want? What are the church? That's the first thing I thought about. And it's like, this cannot be every single situation. Well,
Everything.
I'm questioning what are other people going to think. It's like, no, let me talk to my child. What does my child want? How does my child feel? So yes, I
That was the same
sometimes be
way
like,
my son did
child
the
by
same
y'all.
thing. He wanted to get his ears pierced. So
Mhm.
he was like, I'm gonna take you because I don't want you to go. Like they had, and my husband was a Navy man. Like he was like, Irene, I can't
Yeah.
want to say no, but I feel like if I do, he gonna go. Like it was a battle. So trust me,
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
he don't even wear them earrings. He don't even wear them. Like they don't even wear them. Because we leave by
Hmm.
example, right? He don't see like
Right.
he don't even wear them. He wore them for prom. That was it.
Hmm.
So
yeah,
Yeah, and that's it's funny. That's the same thing with my son, with James. He got him pierced. He was wearing them real good for about 2 months, and now you're like, Ma, you see my earrings? What, child? But yeah. Hmm.
Hey,
But what were
Pastor,
you gonna say, Pastor Danny?
I also think it's another thing as being a PK. What I wanted to make sure that my children did was keep their own identity,
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
and of course I will. I don't know what happened with our children. Neither one of them do anything that we do. Emory and Josiah don't sing, sing. Emory does
She
dance like her
dance.
mom, but none of
Hmm.
my traits, none of the things, my attributes, none of my kids have. You know, they have my intellect. They're smart like their dad.
But like the mom.
But any other things like that, they don't have, and I'm grateful because I don't
Yeah.
want this to be boxed in. I want their
Yes.
own identity. Just because you are a PK child doesn't mean you have to be a preacher or you have to.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that my children have their own identity and they are
Mhm.
well respectable children.
Yes.
Can go anywhere and can go with anyone and be well
Mhm.
Yes.
from the
Mhm.
upbringing that my wife and I and our family have instilled with them. So that's one thing I can add with that is keeping your own identity as an individual and not have the people to identify you as this, or you should be identified
Yes.
as that because you are a PK child.
And I didn't never
Yes.
try to pressure them, like, you need to do this. No, they don't need to do that. They doing what they need to do.
Now, can Josiah
Hmm.
preach? Does
Probably
Josiah have a
so.
word?
Yes, he does.
I know he does. And I
Yes.
push him, but I will cultivate him.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent in his religion classes at school. He's been given opportunities to share covenants and to share
Hmm.
convocation. And I'm
Yeah.
hearing him talk about certain things lets me know that he has the word rooted on the inside of him. Not saying Emory
That's
does,
good.
but he has it on the inside of him. And if he was to be asked to go somewhere to speak on the goodness of God, he'll be able to do it.
Yes. Amen. That's good. That's
That-
good. I love it. I do want to ask you all just a little bit more regarding the season that you all are in. You're in the season of transition. Your daughter has graduated from high school and she is in college. Your son, he is a big time athlete. I was just telling Irene earlier, I said he's an athlete 365 days a year. You don't just have one season, it's all seasons.
Right.
So how do you all actually, stay connected? Your daughter, she's in Louisiana. You all are here, but your son has a busy schedule. You all have a busy schedule. How do you all stay connected as a family?
Cammy is having a hard time that Emory is not here in Chicago. She's really, really,
I
really.
think that's you, but okay, we're gonna go with that.
Podcast world, I think I promise you, it's
Yeah, I am. It's a challenge. Uh,
Yes.
it's a challenge of letting go.
Hmm.
Memory is a challenge of me not being there to be Mr. Fix-It Dad
Yeah. Yeah.
and allowing what we have instilled in her to overtake and overshadow in her decision making.
Yes.
So it is a bit challenging. I'm still fresh. So yes, I do still go in her room. I do sleep in her bed. Little things that that's is cultivating me through this process.
Yeah.
But we are managing. She's doing well. She's doing
Good.
well. I'm grateful for the doors that are opening and that will continue to open for her. And the question you asked was how are we managing and balancing this? It is it's difficult, but Josiah, as you stated, Josiah is going to have an agenda like his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does.
He is well known in his school. When I dropped Josiah, or my wife dropped Josiah off, when the crossing guard says, Josiah is a great kid. I'm so happy to have Josiah at my school. He's been pulled in every leadership class, every leadership aggregation, and I'm just proud of that for him. But to be able to manage that is difficult because we're now juggling schedules. Trying to figure out how I can get him to his meeting, me get to my meeting, first I get to where she has to get to. So I thank God for our village.
Yeah.
A village of individuals. I call him my oldest son, Pastor Sean Smith, who steps in and helps us out. My mom, my dad, our aunts, they help us out in any way that they can to make sure that our children, even from a young age.
Yeah, like now the schedule is much more manageable and it's easier, but like they've always been, even Emory, they've always been very active. They had, my day was dance practice, drop one off at dance, drop one off at basketball. Okay, pick one up from dance, pick up one from basketball, take them to tumbling, leave tumbling. Oh, now we gotta go to gymnastics. And it was like that for years, 15 years, something. You know,
wow.
From one thing to the next. Now, Emory's in college, we're doing well. That's, you know, he's still shaking, but we keep our balance. We FaceTime. We grew FaceTime. Emory been gone since August. That's not one day that we all have not been on FaceTime, or we're not laughing and talking, or we are all in our own beds and she in her bed, and it's like we still all in the same house. So little things like that, where we in a group text and throughout the day, somebody from the family is saying something on that text message and we're laughing and we're responding. So that's, it's okay. It's a different feel with her not being in the house, but being able to talk and communicate and have those moments, that helps. So
she's still asking for money every other day.
Yes,
Of course.
and yeah.
Yes.
You guys are still finding ways to just connect. That was my question, so I don't have to ask that. You know, just finding ways to still connect with your daughter, even though she's in college. And trust me, those 4 years are going to fly by extremely fast. So, Dad, don't worry, it's gonna fly by. It's gonna. I still can't believe that that time it goes by extremely fast. But you know,
it does.
it's just so encouraging that you guys are still finding time to connect as a family, even with the son and daughter that's outside the house. So I want to ask you guys too, because it seems like, you know, you're experienced at this. I want to ask you all to give more words of wisdom to other couples that are out there. Join us next week for part 2.